DC, AC.
Alright, the following is a test of the 3M Scotch coat, see if it is conductive while wet. Two tests here, one 120 volts AC to 100 watt bulb. The second test will be 130 volts DC to 100 watt bulb. Both are fused with 2 amp fuses, and we'll perform the first test now on the 120 volts AC with the circuit on. Now, we've simulated what we believe is as close as we can get to rats chewing on the wires, and we've got the copper exposed, and we will apply the Scotch coat now to see what happens. Well, so far seems to be good. So that is completely wet, as you can see, and completely covered. Now, spot number 2. We'll do 2 coats of it. That looks good. Spot number 3. We have both ground, neutral, and hot wires exposed. And now we have all 3 of those coated hot with the wet liquid tape / Scotch coat. Now that one held. We have 2 fuses on it, held fine, no issues whatsoever. We'll perform the same test on the DC circuit at 130 volts. Good.
I thought the bulb went out.
I don't know how long it'll last with the 9-volt batteries.
Right.
So you can see I'm putting the thick coating of the Scotch coat on here with no issues on both places on the simulated gnawing from the rodents. Now we have it completely covered on both the DC and the AC. Let me do another coat here. It looks like we can see copper just a little bit there. And as you can see, we have no shorts, grounds, or issues. So we will let that dry, and then we will do our step 2 with the rubberized coating. Is it going?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Step 2, we're going to be using this Plasti Dip as a sort of like a stage 2 insulation. It's a little bit stiffer rubber when it dries. A little bit more. Put a little bit safer coating on it, I believe, than just the 1 or 2 coats of the 3M Scotch coat. So we'll put this on there. We'll let it dry. It should provide a nice insulation for the wire. As you can see, I mean, it's used for tool handles, insulating tools, for vibration, and for electric. So we're going to put this on here and then see what it looks like when we get done. So we're going to use the brush method on one of these, and then we have an aerosol can that we're going to try to see what it looks like when it dries as well. So there's coat 1 on the first AC, on the AC wire, first chew mark, and then we have Terry shaking up the aerosol type. Matter of fact, we have 3 now marks. I'll do 2 with the brush on, and then we'll do 1 with the aerosol can. As you can see, we've had no issues. We've got our load on. We've got no issues with anything tripping or shorting at this point, so we're pretty comfortable with the test to this point. And then we'll do the DC here in just a second. Alright. And the spray may be what we have to use in some of the conditions we have out at the Dunedin sub, only because I don't know that we can get in to all the crevices that are out there. So we'll try to spray Well, it goes on pretty nice too. And it probably penetrates a little bit better too. So we've got that. Now we're going to do one of the DC shoe marks with the spray. And that came out good. And like I say, it does seem to penetrate a little bit better than the brushing does. And we'll brush on the second gnaw mark on the DC wire. One and at least wet, it sure looks to be a pretty good bit of insulating on there. So once this dries completely, we'll see what it looks like as far as the condition of it, if it's going to stay together. This is guaranteed not to crack or flake or come loose, so we think it's going to work out pretty good. But we'll do a test after everything's dry, showing the bending of the wire, and it hopefully have no issues with any of the wires becoming exposed. So that's it for now. We'll let it dry, and we'll come back later when it's good and solid in a few hours. We have allowed the 4 hours of dry time recommended on the second stage of the plastic coat installation, and as you can see, it's quite a thick application there, where you don't see any of the wire showing. This one here was the spray, which isn't quite as thick, but as you can see, you can move that wire around quite a bit, and it stays intact. It's pretty well insulated. This is the AC wire, and as you can see, it is under load, and we moved around quite a bit without any issues or problems with it. The DC, which we'll go ahead and power up now, the same way. This one here, which looks like it's penetrated pretty well in there with the insulating spray, but it doesn't look like it's as thick as what we brush on. But both of them are quite well insulated, and as you can see, we move it around and we have no issues with it. It seems to be quite sturdy and secure now. So as per our bench test, it performed as well as we could have hoped and expected. So we're comfortable with this installation.